I've been running a business now for 2 weeks in Ghana, and I wanted to talk to you about that, give you an update of how it's been running a business in Ghana as a foreigner for 2 weeks. I was thinking it would be the same thing, right? Like the system would just be similar to like running a bar in Nigeria. If you're running a bar here in Ghana, but it is not. It is totally different. And hi, I'm Vanessa, and I've been into content creating since 2021. I said that weirdly since 2021, and I've been fairly consistent basically. I know this last month, July, I wasn't that consistent. That was because I was busy trying to start a business in Ghana, and it was a lot of things. I'm sorry, I'm getting ready to leave the house now. So yeah, I was doing this on camera. It's moisturizer, basically, it's nothing. So yeah, I got into content creation in 2021, and it's been fun and exciting, and I've been fairly consistent. I know I was not consistent in July. That was because I was very busy, but for the most part of it, I've been very consistent on this channel, and we've covered a lot of things pertaining to life in Ghana, living in Ghana as a foreigner, moving to Ghana, tourism in Ghana, festival. We've done a lot of things on this channel. One aspect that we've not really covered on this channel is, running a business in Ghana, or how to run a business in Ghana. Basically just getting details into business in Ghana and the rest of that. And recently, if you've been on my channel recently, you've watched my previous videos leading to this, you discovered that I recently started a business in Ghana. So yeah, so now we've covered that area also. Anyway, so I've been running a business in Ghana now for 2 weeks, 2 full weeks, and I really wanted to come here, give you an update before we get back to our regular content. I feel like me just dropping those content and just leaving you guys without saying anything about running a business in Ghana would just be a bit weird. So yeah, I've been running a business now for 2 weeks in Ghana, and I wanted to talk to you. And I wanted to talk to you about that, give you an update of how it's been running a business in Ghana as a foreigner for 2 weeks. Like I said, I'm getting ready to leave the house, so you're gonna have to bear with me if I'm a bit of a mess. I've not done this in a while. Sit down video. What has it been like running a business in Ghana for 2 weeks? I feel like let's talk about some challenges first, and then we get into the whole how's business going as usual. So one of the challenges I've really faced is logistics. I feel like when we're getting I feel like when we were sorting for location and getting this shop running, one thing I did not consider, or we did not consider, was logistics. As going from the house to the shop, because where I live is quite a distance from the shop, and the shop is in Dansoa. If you live in Accra, that is such a long distance. Like it basically takes an hour plus when there's traffic, and when there is no traffic, it takes between 15 minutes to an hour to basically get to the shop. So one of my earliest challenges basically of going day to day, this is sunscreen, so it's going to leave a bit of a white cast, ignore that, basically is that getting from the house to the shop. One of my earliest struggles or challenges was basically logistics, right? To get from where I live to the shop takes me an hour plus, and money wise, oh my goodness, I basically have to spend 60 cedis when I'm going, and sometimes when I'm coming back, because it's late, Uber fares are higher then I spend like 80 cedis. So I was spending a minimum. That actually paid 90 something cedis back home. So a day I was spending a minimum of like 100 plus on transportation alone to the shop. That was minus every other expenses you're going to incur on the way or throughout the day, basically, because you're not home. And in the shop, you didn't have to eat, do all of that. So yeah, logistics was really a big issue for me. And throughout the 2 weeks, because we opened on the 15th of July and the opening system, so till 30th of July, basically I was using Uber back and forth. When I calculated the amount of money that has taken from me, I was really surprised. I'm like, if I continue doing this, if you calculate it daily, you'll be like, oh, it's a little money, it's nothing much. But when at the end of the month you're trying to run it together, you discover how much you spend on transportation alone, you'll be wild. So I recently had to like go out and try and figure out the route. So now I take trotro when I'm going. I basically use trotro, and then I discovered this whole situation, or the whole distance I've been using 60 cedis, 50 cedis during the day, and 80 cedis throughout the night. During the night, basically coming back, I basically can get to the shop in less than 12 cedis. Basically, I was so surprised that this is something that I can do. Basically, I have to take a trotro now to La Paz, and then from La Paz, I get one going to Dansua for 5 cedis, 80 pesos. So from to Kaswa to La Paz, basically, I pay 6 cedis for my house. I just have to walk out to the roadside. So I'm really, that was one of my earliest challenges. But since this month, August, or from 31st of July, basically, I have, figured that out. So I won't say that's a challenge anymore. Cutting down on expenses. I look for a way to cut down on expenses, and that was successful. Number two is basically learning to adapt to the system here in Ghana, because one thing I've noticed in the short 2 weeks that I've been open is basically running a business in Ghana system is quite different from where I'm from, because I'm used to running a business back at home. One thing most of you probably do know already is that my first business out of school was a bar. Yeah, so this is not like my first go ahead. The year I graduated from school, the first business I started back home was a bar. So during the day it was like a snack bar. I had this whole ice cream machine, popcorn machine, and then I do snacks. And during the night it's like a regular bar with pepper soup, all of those things. So I'm like used to running like a bar business. This is not my first goal. But so I was thinking it would be the same thing, right? Like the system would just be similar to like running a bar in Nigeria. If you're running a bar here in Ghana, but it's not. It is totally different, and I'm still like getting to understand the whole system and adapting to it. So yeah, learning new ways or learning the new system and learning to adapt to it has been one of the struggles or challenges I've been facing. But I'm figuring it out daily. Like I always say to people, I'm like, there are times in life you have to like figure things out as you go. So yeah, for now I would say I am basically figuring it out daily. So yeah, learning to adapt to a new system is quite challenging. It's a bit challenging. It's totally different from what I thought or what I had already known, and it's quite an eye-opening also. So yeah, we're going to talk more about that later on. I decide to make another of these videos, because I feel like it's time to get back to our fun videos already, so I don't bore you out. Anyway, that brings me to number three. Number three of one of the challenges I faced in the short 2 weeks that I've been running a business in Ghana as a foreigner or as a lady or a girl, basically, is work hard. When it comes to work hard, just in the space of 2 weeks running a business, I've discovered a lot. Basically, number one, getting workers was not really difficult because I had a lot of persons applied for the job. I think I spoke about that a bit in the previous video. If you've not seen one of those videos, trying to figure out how to get the right workers, because in any business like this, what can make or break it is basically the people working there. So trying to figure out the right people to take was a bit of a challenge, and then I figured that out. So workers wise, I'm going to say the only challenge or struggle I've been facing is getting to realize that a lot of guys here in Ghana don't like working for a lady. Basically, I don't know if I should say don't like working for a lady or working under a lady. I'm going to touch into this a bit. So right now I have like a mix of guys and boys working there at the shop. And then one thing I noticed about particular one of the guys workers from CANON is that when anything happened, he would prefer to speak to my brother that's not there, basically, than to speak to me about it. And you were supposed to talk to me about anything going on, right? I go to the shop in the evening. I do not go in the morning. So in the morning, basically, they're there working, and then towards the evening, I go and I join them and walk throughout the night, right? So the sometime last week, basically second week, yeah, fire service. You know, if you're running a business in Ghana, you know there are a lot of things you have to pay. And when you open a business, permit, you've done all the permit and the rest of that, fire service will still come, you know, and then you have to pay a amount of money, and then they will install fire, you know, all of those, smoke detector, all of those things on your shop. So they came, fire service came when I was not there. So they spoke to him about the whole thing. He was supposed to call me like, oh, fire service is here, and this is what they said we should do, this amount was supposed to pay, and then they'll come and fix the smoke detector, because I was expecting them, right? He didn't. I was there that day. Later on that same day they came, I was there throughout the night. I was there. We closed. He told me nothing about that, and then the next day I came, he told me nothing about that. And then later on, my brother just came like, how are you guys doing, and the rest of that. And he just basically walked to my brother. I was not telling my brother that, oh, fire service came and they said, I'm like, are you for real? I was here yesterday. You basically saw me here yesterday. You don't think you could have like said, oh, this, so you cannot report anything to me. It was like, oh, he didn't think like that. He was thinking because it's fire service, he was supposed to speak to my brother about it, not me, which was so weird. But then that got settled, and I told him from today onward, if I'm not here and there's anything going on or anything we need to do, and then you have to report to me directly, not my brother. You understand? Things like that. Then that you know, that got settled. And then I discovered that this guy would basically call me baby. I don't know how he felt that was okay. I don't know. Like, I would just come in and I'll be like, oh, welcome baby, or hi babe. I just brushed it off. I was thinking it's one of those things, just playing and the rest of that, and just got, maybe because I'm way too familiar or way too friendly, I do not know. So I just like brushed that off and laughed. I didn't say anything in that situation. And then I discovered from there on, I think, not that I discovered, I feel like that was when I started paying attention to him more. I discovered each time I come in, the other will be like, oh, welcome. Because initially I answered all of them, call me Vanessa. But I discovered each time I come in, he wouldn't call me Vanessa. I would say welcome Vanessa or anything. Even if you want to greet me, he would be like, how are you, babe? Welcome, babe. And then we were just talking about something, and he wanted to like come and speak to a particular thing, and then he said baby. And then I got so pissed. I'm like, you cannot call me baby. Are you for real? In what world do you think that's okay for you to be calling me baby? Basically, I was like, oh, you didn't mean any disrespect by that. What do you mean you don't mean any disrespect by that? Do not call me baby. So I felt like for the first 2 weeks, basically, I was not setting clear boundaries with the workers. I was way too friendly with them because I'm a very friendly person. Basically, I'm chiller. Basically, we just come, we're basically all just friends. But I've discovered that if I do that with basically the male workers there, they will feel like it's okay to like call me baby or talk about, you know, dating me or marrying me or do what of one of those things. I do not know, but I just felt like he didn't like the fact that he was, turn on the light, the remote is here, sorry. He didn't like the fact I was, I don't know, I don't just know, but then we're just figuring that out basically. But then I think I've seen some changes in him. I was not like, if this continue, I cannot continue working with you. But then I've seen some changes. And then the second one of the male workers, basically, I hired the bartender. Basically, because when I started the business, it was just like the initial plan of the whole place was we're going to make it like a wine shop during the day, and then we switch over to a wine bar. So we need someone like to be in charge of cocktails and short, like a regular bartender, someone that's good at mixing drinks. So we got a bartender. Basically, he came in the first day. We spoke about the working condition and every one of that, and it was just see, I'm like, okay, we're going to figure it out as we go. This guy would basically come to work anytime he likes. Sometimes he gets there by 8 p.m. basically, and there are some days he will basically like when he's on the way, oh, I'm on my way and there's traffic, my house is quite far. When you were starting, my first concern was like, your house is quite a distance. If you're going to be able to make it down, I said, oh yeah, he's going to make it down. And then it became, my house is very far. You can't get to work by 8 p.m. because 8 p.m. basically, it means you're working for less than 4 hours. Before 8 p.m. that you get to work, who is supposed to be in charge of the bar? It's not like we have 2 bartenders. That one will be taking care of it before it comes. And then I think the first 3 days he started taking money from me because of transportation. And then I felt like because that was actually very far, I should be giving him. So I gave him, I think the first day 200, then 50 CDs, and then another 50 CDs. And then there are days he will basically be like, oh, on my way, I'm running late. And then later on, he will just be like, oh, I don't think I can make it today. The level of unprofessionalism was really amazing. And then 3 days back, he approached me again that he's flat broke. He needed money and all of those things. So I gave him 300 CDs basically. And then he just wrote the next day that, oh, the logistics, it was a lot of things. I don't want to go into enough of those details, which is why I'm not looking for a new bartender. I want someone close by. I do not want to start having issues with workers this early on in the business, you know. So I'm like, you know, scrap all of that. I'm going to just look for someone new, someone that's ready to work and will be professional. So one of the challenges, basically, that's not the material challenges, is, you know, workers navigating employees and the rest of that. Yeah, so that's something you should like put in mind. If you wanted to start a business in Ghana that workers are going to frustrate you, hopefully with time I'll be able to figure out a way to relate with my workers and, you know, run a smooth business with them. Because back home in Nigeria, you basically just employ people that you already know, and I feel like the working system is quite different in both countries. So I'm still trying to understand how workers they behave here, or how they're supposed to behave here, or situation, or basically things they think is okay, and the rest of that is just a work in progress basically. Another point is learning to satisfy your customers basically. Like I said, the initial plan of the business was basically like a wine and liquor bar basically. So it wasn't like we had a plan to be like a regular beer bar. We just wanted like, you come here, take shots, take wine, buy a bottle of wine, sit down, you drink, cocktails available. But then I discovered people keep on coming to ask for beer. So I've discovered a lot of persons actually prefer drinking beer to wine. So understanding your customers and trying to like satisfy customer need is one of the very important point in running a successful business in Ghana. So right now I'm still in the process of trying to figure out how to provide beer for my customer without necessarily branching into beer bottled beer. I do not want to deal in bottled beer and canned beer and the rest of that. I was thinking more like a bubra and the rest, something you can just call. Yeah, so yeah, I'm still in the process of figuring that out. But then every other thing they've asked about, if they call and they feel like, oh, we need this, we need that, I've been trying to add them as we go. The only thing basically left now is to figure out the whole beer situation. So you're learning to understand your customers and, you know, providing services to satisfy them. Will you keep quiet? I'm sorry. This thing keep basically going on. Yeah, that's one of the major challenges. That's not actually one of the challenges. And another point is basically trying to figure out how to source for materials or things you basically need here in Ghana. Just within this short period of time, I have figured out that to sort for particular things in Ghana here is not easy at all. It's not as easy as I thought it would be, because a lot of things are not online here in Ghana. You cannot just like go online and Google for something and you get like a seller or a supplier where you can, you know, get these things from. So you have to like talk to a person, oh, where can I get this, where can I get that, can you help me get a supply for this particular thing? So yeah, getting those is very difficult. And one thing I've discovered in the process is that even the people you think that are close to you and you meet them, be like, oh, can you help me get someone that can get this particular thing from? They'll basically look for, or maybe when they know someone that sells those things, and then they will approach this person and they'll be like, my friend or someone I know needs this particular goods from you, but then you have to add money because the person is a foreigner, obviously. Add this amount of money on the main price of these things, and then you give it to me. Like, I'm not even joking, my phone is ringing a bit back. So like I was saying, basically trying to like figure out where to get things and where not to get things here can be quite tricky, or a bit of a tricky situation basically. So yeah, we're trying to get wines basically in here, you know, someone that can supply particular brand of red wine in bulk and the rest of that, different red wine basically in bulk, you know, that's wholesale sellers that can sell in bulk. And I, you know, met someone be like, oh, if you know where we can get this particular thing, like, oh yeah, I actually have someone that sells, right? I'm like, okay, then get us the contract, the contact, let's talk to them. And then the person basically provided a price list basically for the wines and how much they will cost per bottle, per carton, depends on the quantity you're buying, right? And I was thinking that was the price of, you know, those drinks everywhere. And now I remember saying, oh, these are quite pricey basically, but then if this is how they're being sold here, it means if I buy them from you or somewhere, it's the same thing. So somewhere along the line, someone else basically said, oh, are you guys looking for somewhere to get wine? I have someone that can get wine. I'm like, okay, let me see, take that, you know, so I can compare prices. That was when I discovered that the price difference from person to person from these two contracts basically is 20 cedis per bottle, you know. So with that guy, like, why is your stuff this expensive? And then that one said, the person that recommended you asked me to do that, to put money on top of every of the drinks you're going to get from me, so they can take that money basically. And that thing has been happening for a very long time. You meet someone here, be like, oh, can you help me get contact or get someone to do this for me? And then they will go and meet the person, and the person, oh, I want to go and work for so person. This is for the Nigerians, or she's a Nigerian, or the foreigners. So you're going to, any money you're supposed to charge, if you're supposed to charge 100 cedis, charge 150 cedis so I can take the 50 cedis. These are from people that are very close to you, people that you think are very close to you, basically. You know what, you start going back and you start making calculation, you discover that, wow. So yeah, that is something you should know now, that it will happen. You have to be very careful. So like looking for places or getting places to source as goods yourself can be very tricky. It is very tricky basically, so you have to be very careful with all of that, so you don't run into a situation where you're paying more than cost price for a particular goods or services. So yeah, trying to figure out where to get goods and services, because you cannot just go online and go and get these things yourself. Is a lot of things. So try and get contacts, networking, and the rest of that. Another thing that brings me to another point is something I wish I had done before we started running, was doing more marketing. I feel like we're just focused on getting the whole place ready and going, that we're thinking the marketing aspect of it will come later on basically. But yeah, I wish I had started marketing way earlier, because now the word of mouth is now spreading. So I feel if I started earlier, it would have, you know, be everywhere now. But yeah, it's never too late. In case you wanted to start, that's something you should consider, starting marketing way earlier. Even when I was even doing those videos of starting a business in Ghana, I discovered I wasn't really giving out too much information. So I was trying to be a bit private. I'm actually a very private person. You might have been on my channel for a while and you do not even realize a lot of things about me, because I'm a very private person. So I think I was being way too private, so I was not putting out the whole thing too much, doing the whole marketing thing too much. But yeah, I wish I started marketing earlier. That brings me to another one is networking. Like, the importance of networking cannot be understated. Like, a lot of things in Ghana here are not online. There are a lot of persons that are not online. And when you want to start running a business, or the kind of business where it's not centered towards the younger generation alone, you have to like learn to do your own marketing outside of within social media, internet, and outside also. So don't understate the importance of word of mouth. Like, customers came in or they come in, you serve them, they appreciate your service, they like the service. You always tell them, don't forget telling others about us. That's one very, very important step you should not ignore. So when customers they come in, tell them, oh, please tell others about us, tell your friends about us, tell your family about, or just tell people about us. Basically, it's you should really consider doing that. That is really, really important. That's very, very important, basically, because I've discovered a lot of persons now coming in, they'll come and be like, oh, someone told us about you, or you have this, or you have this, or someone did this about you, or someone did this about. It's really nice. So don't underestimate the power of networking and getting your customers to do most of the to do most of the marketing for you. Tell them, maybe when they come and they buy living, how was their experience? How did you find us? Did you enjoy our services? Or as this particular thing we basically provided? Oh, it was okay, it was nice. Oh, don't forget to tell others or tell your friends about, oh, we're new, we just opened, we're going to add more things. So whatever it is that you're not satisfied with, don't forget to, don't hesitate to let us know, just to work on that. That is very important, which is why when I was looking for workers, I was really, really focused on people that can offer good customer service. I do not want people that will come and be mean to customers, and customers be like, oh, don't go to help. Yeah, which is why I am overly, because my friend was telling me I am way too friendly with the workers. I wanted to run this thing in a situation where we'll be like, we're very chill with each other. There is no this and that, just so, because that's how I'm used to running things. Even when I was doing my bar, the two persons that were working with me in Nigeria, you would not even know I was the owner or whatever. When you come in, we attend to you equally. But then I feel like I overplayed my hand there, just for the male one, because the female workers, they are really, really, so far they are really amazing. I tell them do this, they make sure they do it. I've not had any issue with any of the female workers. It's just the male workers, which is I was asking myself, because when this whole issue with my male workers started happening, and I noticing the whole baby thing, or not, basically not wanting to report him to me or report to me directly and looking for him, I was asking myself, did I cause this? Is this my fault? Is this something I've done? Did I maybe give this guy idea that I do not know if I'd given that? Because I'm not the kind of person that basically, anyhow I feel about you see it on my face. So I know if I was giving out signal that I was not aware, I would know, because I can't hide my feeling. Like, if I do not fuck with you, you know. I'm not fake in any way. I do not do the whole fake friendship thing. I feel like a lot of persons actually have issues with me. I'm not going to go much into that, even outside of meeting you two here, just because I'm not fake. I do not like the whole fake life. If I'm not fucking with you, I'm not fucking with you. If I'm not cool with you, I'm not cool with you. You basically will see it on my face. I wear my feelings on my face. My mother will always tell me, anyhow you're feeling about anybody, if they pay attention to you, they'll see it on your face. I do not have a vocal face. I do not have the kind of face where I'll pass out a different signal from how I actually feel. I'm not that kind of person at all. So I know for a fact that I was not giving this person signals or making him feel like it was okay to call me baby, or say things about, or asking me about boyfriend, or wanting to play with me. A lot of things I do not even want to get into. And this whole male not wanting to work for females in Ghana, I'm sorry, I'm back to this point again. This is not something that just started now, or something I just noticed now. This has happened to me before. And, in my former estate, basically, we had this whole common space. where we pay monthly to get clean and all of that. So you get to a point in the estate, some persons basically were not paying, so everything was just in this area disorganized, and then the grasses were overgrown. I did not like that. I don't know how they were comfortable with that. I basically approached our security and be like, oh, can you get me someone to clear this place, since the estate management is no longer taking care of this because of some of the tenants here not, remitting their monthly money the way they were supposed to. So it was like, oh yeah, he can get someone to clear it for me, basically. So he went out to look for someone. He came and knocked my door and be like, oh, I've gotten someone, this is the man that's supposed to clear it. And I'm like, okay, hi, good evening, sir. Well, it was in the evening, right? Good evening, sir. Can you work today or is it tomorrow? He said, oh, you can start today. If you can't finish it today, and then he will continue tomorrow. I'm like, oh, okay. You've seen this face. How much will it cost? This man basically outright told me to go inside and call my brother so he can discuss the price of my brother. I was taken aback for a minute. I was like, excuse me? He was like, oh, I was thinking it's your brother you live with. Is it your boyfriend you live with or you stay with? Then called the man of the house for me to discuss with the man of the house. And I was just looking at this man like, I asked this guy to call you. In what world did you think someone, I don't even know what he was thinking basically, but he basically just told me I should go inside and call the man of the house out so he can discuss with the man of the house. So because I was a girl, it was I didn't even want to start getting into I'm the one that asked for you, you're the one, whatever. I just slammed the door and just left here, and then I called the security and tell the security, look for someone else, he's not ready to work. Security was like, oh, what happened? And then I was like, he basically cared. I was asking him what it would take, and he said I should go and call the man of the house. So let him wait for man of the house to give him a job, right? And then I think the security man went and he told him, oh, why did you do that? And then he came and started knocking. You could see outside. And we were like, yeah. He said, oh, he's very sorry. He was thinking we better talk to the man of the house, and that he can still do it. I should tell him how much I'm willing to pay for it. I'm like, no, don't do it. Go. I do not want you to do it, so we have to get someone else to do that. That's not even the first incident. A lot of things like that have happened. So I'm getting to understand that some men here in Ghana, they don't like working for a woman, working for a lady, or working under a lady. I do not know. I don't know if it happens in their own professional or offices, government bodies, and the rest of that also, but it's something I've noticed. Anyway, that brings us to work. Okay, so how's business going generally? So generally business is going really nice. For a new business, it's been really amazing. I'm not going to come in and say, yeah. So generally business has been going very good. I'm figuring it out daily as we go, getting better, running a business of this scale in Ghana. As the day goes by, I'm now learning to navigate things, to delegate things, to not take on everything myself, and trying to balance every area of my life, and make sure the particular area is struggling or suffering because of this new thing that has come up now. Because I know July was a long month here on YouTube. I didn't post a lot. I think the only thing I posted the whole of July was basically this business related and the whole process of starting the business, basically nothing else. Yeah, but now I figure it out. I can now work. Like, it's late in the evening and I'm still home. My the cameras, they are connected to my phone, so basically I can monitor everything going on there when I am not there, which is something that has really helped me a lot. So now I'm back to vlogging regularly. I went to a Fufu festival the other day. They did a new version of Fufu festival. Look forward to that. I met one Ghanaian legend. If I cannot wait to show you what I've been to lately, basically. And the Wodemaya video is coming up because I met Wodemaya and you've not seen the video yet. I did an interview with Wodemaya that's coming on, and then Sweetie also. I basically have a lot of things. And this is August now, and I have a lot of festivals. Shalemote is coming also. Like, I'm back, baby. I'm back. I just wanted to come here and just, tell you about how business is going, how I'm finding business. And I've gotten a lot of DMs talking about pertaining to this business or what business idea, I think I want to put one up just so you see the kind of DMs I've been getting. So when I have the time to do a sit down video like this, when I'm not vlogging, because I miss vlogging, you know, I love vlogging, I love going to food festivals and eating and all of that. So yeah, when I have time to sit down and talk like this, I'm going to make more videos about business in Ghana, to run a business in Ghana, business ideas and all of that. So yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. It's been so long, but I wanted to come and chat with you guys a bit. So yeah, how are you guys? I hope you're doing well. Cannot wait to, you know, connect with you all on a larger scale on this. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking and coming on this journey with me. Before you leave, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye. Woo.
If I could show you, I'd hope that you would see all the power.